Donald Trump is a liar. Everybody knows this. This is an indisputable fact. He's lied about a lot of things. He said he has a really good brain.
I'm speaking with myself, number one, because I have a very good brain.
Give us that again. Can you do that again? And you go person, woman, man, camera, TV.
I mean, I don't remember that. Okay, as good as my memory is, I don't remember that. But I have a good memory.
So you don't remember saying you have one of the best memories?
I don't remember.
He says that nobody respects women more than he does.
Nobody respects women more than I do.
When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the I can do anything.
A jury finding Trump liable Tuesday for sexually abusing advice columnist E. Jean Carroll back in 1996.
On July 19th, 2023, federal judge Lewis Kaplan rejected Donald Trump's request for a new trial and confirmed that Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll. I'm going to submit this court ruling into the congressional record, and now I'm going to read you what the judge found. On page 43, the judge wrote, Ms. Carroll testified that the sexual assault, the rape, of which she accused Mr. Trump, involved especially painful, forced digital penetration.
He even said that he actually won the 2020 election.
This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
A few moments later.
Fox News Decision Desk can now project that former Vice President Joe Biden will win Pennsylvania and Nevada, putting him over the 270 electoral votes he needs to become the 46th president of the United States.
The whole number of electors appointed to vote for President of the United States is 538. Within that whole number, a majority is 270. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Joseph R. Biden, Jr. of the state of Delaware has received 306 votes. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 232 votes.
But one of his most absurd, obscene, and offensive lies came recently when he compared himself to the recently murdered Alexei Navalny.
Tonight, Donald Trump addressing Alexei Navalny's death for the first time, but without criticizing Vladimir Putin. Instead, Trump comparing Navalny's death to his own political problems. Trump writing, "The sudden death of Alexei Navalny has made me more and more aware of what is happening in our country," claiming that rigged elections and grossly unfair courtroom decisions are destroying America. Trump has faced days of scathing criticism from opponent Nikki Haley for refusing to condemn Putin.
I don't know why he keeps getting weak in the knees when it comes to Russia.
Haley campaigning on Trump's history of praising Putin. Years of comments like that moment on the world stage when Trump said he takes Putin at his word, including when Russia was accused of meddling in U.S. elections.
President Putin, he just said it's not Russia. I will say this, I don't see any reason why it would be.
Let's be clear about something. Donald Trump, not even on his best day, could ever be mistaken for a hero like Alexei Navalny. For starters, Navalny wasn't afraid of Putin, not even a little bit. The guy was literally poisoned, was in a coma, then came out of the coma and went back to Russia, knowing damn well that once he got back, as soon as he got back, he would be imprisoned. And that is precisely what happened. Donald Trump, meanwhile, is busy selling tacky gold sneakers and begging grandmas for $5 so he can pay lawyers so that they can keep his crooked ass out of prison, all on charges that grand juries deemed worthy of prosecution. Grand juries, not his political opposition. In fact, you could probably argue that Donald Trump has gotten way more leeway from the system than any of us would have gotten. Stealing classified documents, bank and insurance fraud, election interference. Trust me, by now, we would have been doing some time in prison. But for me, it's Donald Trump's comparison to Alexei Navalny that offends me the most. I mean, he can't even bring himself to say the name Putin while discussing Navalny. Alexei Navalny died while taking a stand against Putin. Donald Trump is Putin's greatest cheerleader.
I said, this is genius. Putin declares a big portion of Ukraine. Putin declares it as independent. Oh, that's wonderful. So Putin is now saying it's independent, a large section of Ukraine. I said, how smart is that? And he's going to go in and be a peacekeeper.
Alexei Navalny was brave. Donald Trump is, always has been, and always will be a coward. Time and time again, Trump has proven himself to be nothing more than a useful idiot, a Putin puppet. Nothing more.
Well, that's because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
It's pretty clear you won't admit that the Russians.
Above all else, Alexei Navalny never made it about himself. It was always about the people, about the movement.
Здесь у меня просто очевидная вещь. Ну, не сдавайтесь. Не надо, нельзя сдаваться. Если это произошло, это означает, что мы необыкновенно сильны в этот момент, раз они решили меня убить. Ну и нужно использовать эту силу. Не сдаваться. Помните о том, что мы огромная сила.
Donald Trump, meanwhile, only cares about Donald Trump. His first, second, third, fourth, and fifth concerns are Donald Trump, and Vladimir Putin.
The problem is not that Putin is smart, which of course he's smart, but the real problem is that our leaders are dumb.
He'd rather see the country suffer a financial crisis or even a terrorist attack than lose in 2024.
We have an economy that's incredible. We have an economy that's so fragile. And the only reason it's running now is it's running off the fumes of what we did, what the Trump administration. It's just running off the fumes. And when there's a crash, I hope it's going to be during this next 12 months, because I don't want to be Herbert Hoover.
At Fox News town hall, Trump essentially admitted to killing the bipartisan border security bill in Congress because it would have, quote, made it much better for the opposing side. Biden.
Why were you against the House, against the Senate border deal, the bipartisan border?
Well, they allow 5,000 people a week. Number one, that, but it also made it much better for the opposing side. I don't know if you've heard this, but I came up with this one: migrant crime. There's crime, there's violent crime, there's migrant crime. We have a new category of crime. It's called migrant crime, and it's going to be worse than any other form of crime.
He'd rather see the country suffer a financial crisis or even a terrorist attack than lose in 2024. Folks, that's exactly what we need to make happen in November of 2024. We need to keep the Kremlin out of the White House and defeat Donald Trump by voting for President Joe Biden. This is Brooklyn Dad for Really American. Peace. And make sure you like and subscribe to the Really American channel, where we're always speaking truth to power and bringing you new content daily to keep you informed during this critical election year and beyond.